mathioli Charanam, Jainandalala, everybody. Welcome. So today another Nayanmar, beautiful story of Appudhi Adigal. He's also a Nayanmar, and this is the person when I was doing Thirunavukkarasar, I told you, without doing Appudhi Adigalaar, I will not complete his session. His story is incomplete without talking about Appudhi. So this is a very important Nayanmar who will teach us lessons about Guru Bhakti, Guru Seva, and what all these things lead to and how it helps us proceed in the right path. I've always stressed on that one thing, that is the importance of a guru. Who the guru picks, but we go and pick sometimes, no? In every case, the guru walks up to his shishya and picks. Those are the ones who are very, very blessed. Of course, there are other ways also. He draws them towards him or her, but most of it is he picks. Guru picks the shishya. When you're ready, the guru appears. When you're not ready, he does not appear. So this story opens our eyes to the importance of a guru. Here it's a little different. We'll see why. Now, Appudhi Adigal was born in Thingalur. It's near Kumbakonam. And he was a big Lord Shiva Bhakta. For him, Lord Shiva is everything. Shaivite. And I've always told you about the same time when Thirunavukkarasar was there. That was the time when the Jainism was revived and what happened. We know the story. And because of the kings who were ruling at that time did not allow the practice of Shaivism, so all these people were trapped because of that, and they just wanted that freedom. Freedom to practice Shaivism, freedom to worship Lord Shiva, and with no restrictions. And that is when Thirunavukkarasar came to be, Tirujnana Sambandar came to be, and they converted the kings back to Shaivism. They revived Shaivism back. So this is the period. So whenever Thirunavukkarasar, whatever he did, spread like fire, right? Those incidences we spoke about when he was put in the furnace, when he was, put in front of the royal elephant. What did the elephant do? When he was put, tied in the rock and dumped in the ocean, what happened? The rock brought him back to shore. All these things that he did, obviously he didn't do the bhakti. The bhakti towards the Lord brought him back to shore, made the elephant bow to him and, seek his blessings, Thirunavukkarasar's blessings, and made the oven, the furnace, cool like as if he's sitting in Mount Kailash. All these incidents happened because of his bhakti towards Lord Shiva. He sang a padikam and the Lord responded with these miracles. So this spread like fire. Everybody there and around the towns and villages spoke about this and took it with them. And as they traveled, they spread these news and beautiful incidences to everybody. So Thirunavukkarasar's name spread. Everyone got to know him, who he was. That is how Appudhi Adigal also got to know who Thirunavukkarasar is. Obviously, at that time, they all got back that freedom of worship to Lord Shiva. That also they were very grateful to Thirunavukkarasar. This was the Shora kingdom. At that time, Shoras were ruling this part, this Thingalur. And Appudhi got to know about Thirunavukkarasar, and he said, if the Lord responds to somebody's adigam, responds to somebody's poems, and, creates a miracle and saves this bhakta, how great that bhakta is. He has a personal relationship with Lord, which we cannot even imagine. I can only pray to Lord Shiva. This is what Appudhi is thinking. I'm praying to the Lord. He's keeping me well. But here is a bhakta who's praying and he's responding directly. How many get that? So he had Thirunavukkarasar on a pedestal. And he decided that day, when he got to know him the first time, he decided that day that he would take Thirunavukkarasar as his guru. That's it. He has not seen the person. He does not know how he looks. He does not know his age. Nothing he knows, but he knows what he has done. He knows what miracles, the Lord did and saved Thirunavukkarasar from so many blunders, so many things that the atrocities that the king put him through. That was enough for him. Very convinced. So he said, this is my guru. And he was so serious that he named both his boys Thirunavukkarasar, his wife Thirunavukkarasar, and he was such a big Shiva Bhakta. A lot of times, those days, people were serving the devotees who passed by. Everybody is a pilgrim. Those days, people have to pass by that road, that street, and anybody could walk in and eat anywhere. So these people took it as their goal to feed all the pilgrims. And so they set up watersheds everywhere for the pilgrims to come and drink water. Think about it. It's so nice. And all the watersheds were also named after Thirunavukkarasar. All the buttermilk sheds were also named as Thirunavukkarasar. More. They used to give more during the summer days, So the more sheds also, the buttermilk sheds also were named after Thirunavukkarasar. And all the food stalls were named after Thirunavukkarasar. This was the scene in Thingalur. That is when our favorite man, Thirunavukkarasar, walks into this vicinity. He walks into this place and he's thirsty. And he looks around and he sees this shed. It says Thirunavukkarasar watershed. He's like, that's named after me. That's my name. The Lord has given him the name. So it's not even, he cannot even claim that to be his name. Correct? The Lord gave him the name Thirunavukkarasar. So he was very confused. Was named the shed Thirunavukkarasar. Okay, maybe it's could be a coincidence. And he just went inside, drank the water and came out. And then he's seeing sheds after sheds, food stall and that and this. Everything has Thirunavukkarasar on it. Now he's curious. Now he wants to know. So he walks into one of the buttermilk shed and he asks, why is all this named Thirunavukkarasar? Who has built all this? And the person says, Oh, all this belongs to Appudhi Adigal. He's very devoted to Lord Shiva. And this is his guru, he says. Huh. And he's thinking, I don't even know my Shishya. What guru am I? I don't even know a Shishya named Appudhi. So he's totally confused. So he says, okay, can you please tell me where this Adigal lives? Appudhi Adigalar, where is he? Where does he live? Can you please pinpoint his house and show me the way, please? He says. So he says, yeah, anybody knows. Go straight and ask somebody, they will tell you. He says, okay, and he proceeds. And then they tell him where the house is, and he goes, knocks on the door. He's so curious to know who this unknown Shishya is. So he knocks on the door, and this man opens the door just like him. He has one lot of Rudraksham, Vibhuti smeared. Both are very happy to see each other because in the Kalai, um, the first glance, you'll know that presence, that aura will tell you, my God, enna tejas, right? The tejas is what they say. It glows. Both are admiring each other. And Appar, Thirunavukkarasar says, Ayya, I'm just walking into your place and I saw all the things you have built. You're a great man. You have done so much for all the pilgrims who pass by. And he says, come in, come in, come in, and you can sit and we will give you food and water, anything you want, let me know and all that. Appudhi is so welcoming. And they sit him down and they're talking. And now Thirunavukkarasar asks him, um, what made you build all this? And he says, all bhakti for Lord, everything is Lord's and everything. And then he introduces his family. This is Muta Thirunavukarasar. He says, Muta means old. That is the first son. He says, Muta Thirunavukarasar. This is Ilaya Thirunavukarasar. This is small, the younger one. This is Ilaya Thirunavukarasar. And then Appar asks, and your wife's name? He says, oh, that is Amma Thirunavukarasar. So everybody is Thirunavukarasar. So this is how he differentiates them by saying Muta, Ilaya, and Amma. That is all the differentiation. He's very confused. Why have you named all of them Thirunavukkarasar? He says. Nobody knows who he is, but he has this big confusion in his head. He says, why have you named everybody Thirunavukkarasar? I'm curious, he says. Then, Appudhi gets very insulted. He says, what do you mean? What do you mean by asking that? You don't know who Thirunavukkarasar is? He says, I'm not sure. Can you please explain? He says. And Appudhi is like, I'm very disappointed. You call yourself a Shiva Bhakta. You call yourself a Shiva Bhakta and you do not know who Thirunavukkarasar is. I'm very disappointed and I have to have my doubts in your Bhakti now, he says. Then Appar is like, Mannikano. Please, I apologize for my ignorance, but I still want to know. Please teach, I'm ready to learn, he says. Appudhi is like, okay, wait, I'll tell you. He has done this, he has done that. So one by one, he talks about Thirunavukkarasar, whatever he did, and he's got everything right. The furnace story, he says, the elephant story, he says, and how he converted the king back to Shaivism, he says. And But he did not take up the part where Thirunavukarasar was derailed and he went to Jainism, and all that was not brought up. He only talked about the miracles that Thirunavukarasar had performed. And Thirunavukarasar had tears rolling down his cheek, because this was like making him a hero. This was like idealizing him to a point where he has not realized, or he never thought of himself that way. So it was a new, uh, a scene, new zone that he was taken to. He had tears in his eyes. He said, Aya, the person you're talking about, that biggest fool, is me, he says. That fool you're talking about is me. I am Thirunavukkarasar. The Lord gave me that name. The dumb fool who walked away from the Lord's path and went derailed and went to Jainism. I was lost for so many years. Thanks to the Lord who gave me this severe stomachache that brought me back to him. I am that fool. I am not that great, he said. I am not that great. So from this, again, we learn a big story. So many years he has done blunders. And he mentioned that also. He said, I have done blunders for so many years. I debated with all the Shaivite saints. I spoke ill about our Lord. I debated so much, putting the Lord down. I don't deserve all this, he said. He is a good example of a person who never forgets the wrong that we did. We all do wrong. But when we come clean, we are talking about how we came clean. But we never talk about the wrong. How many of us say I've wronged? We'll only say I was clean for this long. For a person who lies all the time, he's clean for 1 year, he will talk about that 1 year. I'm clean for 1 year. I've not lied for 1 year. Opposed to saying, I've lied for so many years. I'm not that great. See, that is what makes us humble. When we remember our stumble, when we remember, Sariki Virinde, that is something we have to always keep in mind. I'm capable of falling. If we forget that we fell once, then we have not taken our lesson seriously. People put away that fall. We put that fall aside. But that is how the world is now. Yeah, forget what you have done. Let's take a new leaf. All that is good. It's good. But we should never forget our failures. Isn't that failure responsible for where we are now? Isn't it a step stone? Without that stone, we would never be here. It's like a ladder we climbed, and we did climb and step on that failure ladder to get here. So that ladder should never be forgotten. Yes, I failed. I failed. I miserably failed. But that's what brought me here, should always be in our mind. In a positive way. Not saying, oh, I failed, I can never succeed anymore. No, that's not right. Failure should be seen as a stepping stone. And that is what Appar is a beautiful example, where he only spoke about his failure, but not in a depressed way, in a very humble way. That also we need to learn, that you're just rejoicing me and, glorifying me. I don't even know if I deserve all that. That is like giving him a different picture of himself, and he didn't care about it. He didn't care, okay, if I gave him this picture, he will stop thinking about me as his guru. No, gurus also stumble. If a shishya judges with that, then he's not a good shishya, right? So he was very clear about, I stumbled. I made mistakes. But with the Lord's grace, I'm here. He said that. Can you imagine Appudhi Adigalar's reaction when he said, I am Thirunavukkarasar? He was stunned. The man he worshipped, his guru, is sitting in front of him and saying, this is me, after years. And he was so happy. He had his mouth open and he was like, are you Thirunavukkarasar? Ayya, he said. Yeah, I am that fool, he said. Yes, that is me. And he immediately ran and got all the whole family, and they all did namaskaram to him because the whole family knows him. They were named after him. So everybody got his blessings. And Appudhi Adigalar says, you have to have a feast here. We are going to prepare a big feast for you. You've come here for the first time, my guru. And he washes his feet and he does all the seva a shishya will do for a guru. And he tells him, he gives him a nice place to rest, to do whatever meditation or whatever he wants. And he says, we will prepare a feast for you. And he leaves from there, leaves Thirunavukkarasar to himself. Now the big feast is happening in the kitchen. The wife, they have help to make whatever they're making. And then the boy, the older one, goes out to bring the banana leaves to serve the food. The leaves have to be cut off the tree. So he goes with a knife to collect the banana leaves. While he was gone, when he was doing that, there was a snake over there. The snake obviously bit this poor boy, and what he did was his determination. He didn't fall there. Somehow crawled and came to the kitchen, handed over the banana leaf to his mother, and he said, I am bitten by a snake. I'm going to die now, but that should not stop you from feeding our guru. Promise me that, he says. What a family, right? It's not just Appudhi, it's running in the whole family. And the mother she teared up and she couldn't help. She said, yes, I will make sure the guru's fed. And immediately the boy passes out. He's gone. Appudhi Adigalar is there. Both of them are shocked, but they have to keep the boy's last wishes. So they quietly put the body aside, the corpse aside, and get to work. Look at the amount of the bhakti and detachment. And they quietly come and lay the banana leaf and serve the food. And obviously, Appar, Thirunavukkarasar asks all the family members to come so that he can give the vibhuti from his other pilgrimage spots that he brought prasadam. He said, I want to give prasadam to everyone before you all eat. Come in line and stand. So everybody is here except the one member is missing. He asks, where is your other son? And Appudhi Adigalar says, he's not in a position to come, Ayya. What do you mean he's not in a position? He was here, you just introduced him. So, Ayya, let us eat. We'll talk about this later, he says. And he could see the mother, whatever it is, the mother cannot, hide her emotions. She's looking down. She's got the sad face, which Appar notices. And he says, I see that Amma is not happy. What happened? You're hiding something from me. Please tell me. I can be of some help, he says. Illa, yeah, let's eat. He says, no, I'm not going to eat till your son comes and I give him prasadam, he says. Then he cries, he weeps, he bursts out in tears and he says, this is what happened. And my son took a promise from us saying, you have to be fed first. Appar was very unhappy. It's like, ivlo periya event, ivlo periya episode has happened and this such a big episode has happened and you have hid it from me. You think I don't have the right to know? When you have done so much, you've named everything after me, don't I have some duties towards you? Why did you put me aside like that? என்னையே அப்படி ஒதுக்கி வச்சுட்ட? Please bring your son. Let's go to the temple, he says. So they both go and bring the son, carry the son's body, and they go to the temple with Thirunavukkarasar. And they lay the corpse in front of the Lord. There is the Lord in Thingalur. His name is Kailasanathar. The body is laid in front of him in his sannidhi, and Appar sings a padikam. Ondru kolam. Beautifully. 10 songs, one after the other. Everyone is in tears. As soon as he finishes, the boy wakes up as if he was sleeping. Miracle. Everyone there was just so astonished. Chinna vishayama? Small thing? No. Boy was dead, bitten by a snake. And of course, we all know the Lord, Shiva, is so... Poison is nothing for him, right? This poison is like one, I don't know, it's even smaller than a drop. He drank a whole ocean of poison. Our Lord. So the Lord just, gave the son back. The poison was all gone out of his system. He got up as if nothing happened. He was just sleeping. The mother, the father, everybody was astonished. And now their bhakti for their guru went up. They know that the guru is an instrument of the Lord, but how many gurus can have this direct link to the Lord? Direct, the contact number, direct line, which he had. So what made, you must be thinking here, the Lord has no connection with Appudhi Adigalar directly. But he became a Nayanar. Very different from other Nayanars that we have seen where they have a connection themselves. But Appudhi Adigalar, his connection was only Thirunavukkarasar. See how little familiarity with, they're very similar with Cheraman Perumal, right? Cheraman Perumal, the one that was connected to Sundaramurti Nayanar. Same similarity we see here. His devotion to his Guru, the detachment to serve the Guru, even after he knew his son passed away. Putting his emotions aside and serving his Guru first. The same with the son. What devotion! That brought tears to my eyes. A kid to have such a devotion and bhakti towards the Guru. He understood. He understood the meaning of seva to Guru. How much it means. First time the Guru is visiting our house, my death should not be a hindrance. Right? Isn't that what the son was thinking? I should not deprive that happiness from my parents. So thought is so higher than we can even imagine. So the bhakti and service for his Guru got him the Nayanar title, the position. Because even after that, he continued to serve Thirunavukkarasar. And that was the link. Thirunavukkarasar was the link for him to reach the Lord. The link is so important. Now, Puranas, that is what we come to know. Continuously, they say, right? In every story, what is the link? So he continued to pray to the Lord and seek Thirunavukkarasar's blessings all the time. Whatever he did, everything was in his name. Now let's look at this temple. The temple where he revived this boy. Very powerful temple. It's like even our Kapali Kovil, Kapalishwarar Kovil is very powerful like that. And we see the same incident where, an Nayanar has revived the girl who was dead back to life. Same here. This temple also. The dead is revived back to life. It is something. So this temple, Sri Kailasanathar Temple in Thingalur, Tanjavur. Thingal is Chandran, moon. So this is one of the Navagraha Sthalams, is what they say. It's like Tirunallar, you know. So this is for Chandran. Now the Ambal is called Periyanayagi. And there's a separate shrine because it's for Chandran. There's a separate shrine for Chandran, Lord Chandran. And of course, the main temple is Lord Shiva. But it is a Navagraha temple. Now, this mainly is for, people who have Chandra Dosham and all that, I'll come to that later. Now, the Thingalur is a sthalam for Chandran and the color is white. Because Chandran is white, color is white. And the Vahanam, Lord Chandran Vahanam is a white horse. This is built in the 7th century by the Pallava dynasty. And the name of the king is Rajasimha. He was the one who built this temple. We know the story where Chandran was cursed. So he came out of that curse by praying to the Lord here. He got rid of it here. And Lord Shiva wore him on his head. That is the boon he gave the Lord Chandran. The Lord Shiva came to be known as Chandrasekharan since then. Now, Chandran gets back his beauty after he got rid of his curse and attains the full brightness on the full moon day, or we say Paurnami. Now, there are separate sannidhis for Appudhi Nayanar and the members of his family. All of them equally great. We saw why. They all got a sannidhi each. Not only Appudhi, everybody. Now, poet Sekirar tells about Appudhi and his life in 46 verses in Periya Puranam. Now, Chandra Dosham, we've all heard. People who look at the Jadagam and all the horoscope thing know this. It causes ill health, the mental imbalance, and skin ailments. You know me, I don't read all this. I don't know horoscope. Because if you hold Ambal's feet, you don't really need to read horoscope and get to know anything. That is my policy. But at the same time, I do not, put these things down. It is true. It's mathematics. People who want to believe can believe. So they say that offering white cloth and white flowers to Chandran on, if they have Chandra Dosham, gets them rid of all these problems. They offer white payasam and curd rice. So white payasam is kheer, white kheer and curd rice, and to please Chandran is what they say in this temple. Now, the villagers here, the towns nearby, they also do Annaprashanam here. They say it's very auspicious for Annaprashanam. It's the first grain of rice fed to the child. There's another temple which is very famous for Annaprashanam is Guru Ayappan. Kerala is where they go and do that. So this is another temple in Tamil Nadu. A unique feature in this temple is that during the months of Puratasi, That falls in September, October time, Puratasi. And Panguni. Panguni falls in March and April. At that time, the rays of the moon fall on the Shivalinga, which is very beautiful and it's very unique. So that is one unique factor of this temple. There's a lot of lessons we learned from this beautiful story that we take back. Right? Pure, unconditional bhakti and devotion. No complaining. They didn't say, the Guru has come and this happened. A lot of us take an incident and we analyze it. We analyze it in a way that, let's take it for example, the Guru has come. After a long time, he's seeing his Guru. He's never seen it. He's never seen Appar. He's seeing him for the first time. Appudhi could have thought for a minute, maybe this is not a good thing. It's a signal for me to stop idealizing this man. Maybe it's a signal for me that the Lord is sending. I mean, the Lord has nothing to do with it. But yes, he has everything to do with it. Maybe the Lord is sending me a signal to back out of this bubble that I am in. Think of what would have happened to Appudhi and his family if he had thought like that. Would he have got his son back? Very something to think about. Analyzing, doubts, fear takes us away from that path of pure unconditional devotion. Because they stayed focused. They had not even 0.1 point, whatever, small percentage of doubt they didn't have on Appar. They didn't even ask questions as why we were so devoted and our Guru comes to visit for the first time. Why should we endure so much pain? They did not analyze. Analyzing is not a good thing every time. Sometimes analyzing takes us out of the path, throws us out in all directions that we don't know where we were. And to bring us back to that place takes a lot of effort. Unnecessary, shuffling everything. It's like calm waters and all the dirt comes out for unnecessary reasons. And then again, the whole mind is filled with muck, like the water, muddy, all the muds come out. It's like the clear is gone. The clarity is gone. Never do that. See, that analyzing was not there here. We should learn that from here. This is a story for all of us. It's all of us because a lot of us are so educated. We have so many degrees in hand. Some of us are teachers. Some of us are professors. Some of us are teachers in many, many lines. Because we know, because we have learned a lot. Some of us are in very high positions. Analyzing is part and parcel of our lives. We analyze every episode in our life. And that has become a habit, especially in life. Episodes, it happens. We sit and think, why? What did I do wrong? Which is okay to think. I hope it just stopped there. What did I do wrong is a good thing, but it goes beyond that. Doubts are what gets us out. And this is a big, beautiful story where it clearly says no doubting. Keep doing what you're doing. The Lord has control over everything. See, he controlled the snake, he controlled the poison, he controlled the boy, he controlled Appar and Appar's padigam, and how he brought the boy back. All the Lord's leelas. Quietly, he's doing it from wherever, and Appar gets all the credit. Poor Thirunavukkarasar had nothing to do with it, but he gets all the credit. Not that he takes it. He clearly says, I didn't do anything. That's his humility. He's very humble. Only, the Lord selects only people like that to work with as instruments who are humble. He will not take up anybody else. That is why Appudhi earned the name, the position of Nayanar. It's a big lesson. It's a big test. The most dearest is our son, our daughter, our, right? The most dearest, any parent. The test was put with that dear one as the subject. He can easily sway. Emotions are the worst enemy. So this episode is amazing in all terms. We have to listen to the story again and absorb all that goodness from it and try to at least practice 10% of what Appudhi is, Appudhi Nayanar is. I truly enjoyed speaking about him. Thank you. Mathioli Charanam, Jainandala.